Okay, welcome to another lesson. We are continuing looking at past exams, and we are specifically looking at the questions that were tested on descriptive statistics. With me here, I have an exam that was done in December 2021, and we are going to look at question number 2B. This question carries 412. This question carries 15 marks, and would like to move and see what was expected from you as a student on answering this question. The question reads, the following data shows the distribution of profit of 150 manufacturing companies in a given year. We have the profits, then we have the number of companies, and then you are asked, required, you calculate the arithmetic mean of the profits and interpret the results. Now, we need to get a table for us to be able to find the mean. Here, we shall have the profit. I will create a table here. We have the first column. I'm going to have profits, and then I list down the values given. The values given start from 10 to 20, 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, then 30 to 40, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, then we have 70 to 80, 80 to 90, and finally 90 to 100. Now, once I get these columns which represent the profits, and these profits, remember, are in millions. The profits are in millions. I look for the midpoint. Midpoint. What did I say when it comes to finding the midpoint? You need to have the upper class limit plus the lower class limit divided by 2. 10 plus 20 divided by 2, that is 30 divided by 2, 15. This is 50 divided by 2, 25. This is 70 divided by 2, 35. 110 divided by there's a column here we skipped. There's this from 30 to 40, 40 to 50. You're supposed to have 50. Here you're supposed to have 40. Sorry for that. Let's make those changes. We need to move this after 30 to 40. We needed to have 40 to 50. Then from there we have 50 to 60. Then 60 to 70. We needed to have 60 to 70. Then 70 to 80. Then 80 to 90. And finally 90 to 100. So 40 plus 50 divided by 2, I get this is 45. This is 55. This is 65, 75, 85, and 95. Correct. Now, I come here and get the number of workers. The number of workers, and I will call this one frequency. I'll call this one frequency. My frequency, I will have 15, 13, 25. This is 15, 13, 25. Then I have 30, 16, 10. Then I have this is 30, 16, 10, then I have 22, 12, 7. Then I have 22, 22, 12, 7. Then we find fx. Fx means midpoint times frequency. 15 times 15 gives me 225. This is 225. 25 times 13. 25 times 13 give me 325. This is 325. That 5 times 25, this gives us 875. 875. 45 times 30. 45 times 30 give me 1350. 55 times 16 give me 880. 880. 65 times 10, this give me 650. Then 75 times 22 give me 1650. Finally, I have 85 times 12. This is 10, 20. And finally, we have 95 times 7. This is 665. Then we need here to find summation of fx. We add all these. 665 plus 1020 plus 1650 plus 650 plus 880 plus 1350 plus 875 plus 325 plus 225. This give me 7640. Then I also need to know the total frequency. We need to know summation of f. Summation of f is 15 plus 13 plus 25 plus 30 plus 16 plus 10 plus 22 plus 12 plus 7 is 150, and it was already given in our question. We are told that the question told us that we have 150 companies. So, mean, how do we find the mean? Mean is found as summation of fx divided by summation of fx divided by summation of f. This means 7640 divided by 150, and what is the answer here? 7640 divided by 150 give us 50.9. This gives us 50.93. I hope that is clear. I hope it is clear. The first thing to do is to get the midpoint. Once you get the midpoint, you list down the frequency, then you multiply the midpoint with the frequency. Once you multiply the midpoint with the frequency, you add fx, then so I hope let me do this column for fx again. 225 plus 325 plus 875 plus 1350 plus 880 plus 650 plus 1650 plus 1020 plus 665 give us 7640. So it means we are correct. Now, that's how you are to score your 4 marks. We move on, but there is a question you are told. you interpret the results. So how do you interpret this? You can say the average profits for each of the manufacturing company, for each of the 150 manufacturing companies, for each of the 150 manufacturing company is 50.93 million. That's what the mean means. We move on to the next question, which has 8 marks. You are told you determine the standard deviation and standard deviation of the profit and interpret the results. We previously said if you want to find standard deviation, which is the sigma, you need to do what? You need to find the square root of what? You need to find the square root of, you need to find, just a minute. We need to find the square root of the, if you want to find the standard deviation, you need to find the square root of the variance. You need to find the square root of the variance. So in our work in here, we need to find what the variance is. Yeah, we need to find what the variance is. And how do you find the variance? How do you find the variance? The variance, we find the variance by getting the column of x minus, this is x minus x bar. Then we come here and find x minus x bar squared. Then we multiply this one by f. Then we come here and find f into x minus x bar squared. So what is x minus x bar? Our x bar is the mean, which you have already found is 50.93. So let's come here. 15 minus 50.93. What do I get? I get negative 35.93. 13 minus 50.93. What do I get? Negative 37.93. Then we have 25. I should be using the midpoints. The first one was 15. 15 minus 50.93. We got negative 35.93. The second one is 25 minus 50.93. I find this is negative 25.93. Then you have 35 minus 50.93. This gives me negative 15.93. Then I will have 45 minus 50.93. Give me negative 5.93. Then 55 minus 50.93. It give me 4.07. 65 minus 50.93 give me 14.07. Then 75 minus 50.93 give me 24.07. Then 85 minus 50.93 give me that 4.07. Then finally 95 minus 50.93 give me 44.07. 4.07. The next, I square this. I get 44.07 squared. This will give me 1942.16. I'll give to 2 decimal place. That 4.07 squared, it give me 1160.76. Then 24.07 squared give me 579.36. 14.07 squared, this give me 197.96. Then I have 4.07 squared, it give me 16.56. Negative 5.93 squared give me 35.16. 15.93 squared give me this is 253.76. 25.93 squared, this give me 672.36. And finally I have negative that 5.93 squared. This gives me this is 1290.96. So I hope we are done. We are correct up that point, and you are following up. The next thing is to find f into x minus x bar. So this column I'm going to multiply to the frequency. 12 point, this is 1290. Yeah, 1290.96. I multiply by the frequency, which is 15. I will get here is 19364.4. Next, 672.36 times the frequency is 13. What do I get from here? This one I'll get 8,740.68. Then I have 253.76 and multiply by the frequency, which is 25. I'll get 6,344. That 5, this is that 5.16. That 5.16 times the frequency is 30. I get this is 1054.8. Then 16.56 times 16. This will give me 2264.96. 197.96 times 10 give me 1979.6. 579.36 multiplied by 22, it will give me, this is 12,745.92. 1160.76 times 12, this give me 13,929.12. And finally, we have 1942.16 times 7. This give me what? This will give me 13,595.12. So when you add this, yeah, summation of f into x minus x bar squared, what do you get? This one plus 13 929.12 plus 12,745.92 plus 1979.6 plus 264.96 plus 1054, that is 1054.8. This is 1054.8 plus 6344 plus 8740.68 plus 19364.4. What do you get here? The total here is 78,000. 018.6. Now, let me confirm this for 13.35.16 times 30. Yes, it was 1054.8. Good. Now, we need to find our standard deviation. Our sigma is the square root of this is the square root of, but we need to find the variance first. Variance is equals to okay, in part 2 we are supposed to look for the standard deviation. So standard deviation is supposed to be here you're supposed to look for standard deviation. This is supposed to be the square root of the variance. So sigma is supposed to be the square root of summation of f into x minus x bar squared divided by summation of f, where we have already found the summation of f into x minus x bar squared. So here we have the square root. I bring down the values. Summation of f into x minus x bar squared, it is 78,018.6. Here I have 78,018.6. What was the total frequency? Summation of total frequency here was 150. You come here, divide by 150. What is this? Supposed to be the square root of what? 78,018.6 divided by 150. This gives me 520.124. Square root of that. So my sigma is 22.806. You are asked to interpret. Therefore, this means there is a standard deviation. There is a standard deviation. There is a standard deviation of 22.806 millions. Remember, the profits were in millions. In the profit of 150 manufacturing companies, profit of 150 manufacturing companies in that given year. In that given year. in that given year. In what? In that given year. In that given year. So we are done with standard deviation. That's how you are supposed to score your 6 marks on standard deviation. The next, we are supposed to look for the coefficient of variation. Now, let's look at the coefficient of variation, which is given as CV. CV is supposed to be standard deviation. CV is supposed to be standard deviation divided by here. I will solve it here. If you want to find CV, CV is supposed to be standard deviation divided by the mean. So in this case, we have our standard deviation as 22.806 divided by the mean. What was our mean? The first thing we did in this question, the mean was 50.93 divided by 50.93. What do we get here? 22.806 divided by 50.93. So give me 0.448. So it therefore means that the coefficient of variation is 0.448, and the variability, you see the coefficient of variation gives you the variability. So in this case, we say there is a smaller variability. There is a smaller variability. There is a smaller variability. There is a smaller variability between the profits. The profits of manufacturing companies. So in this case, we say the higher the variability, we say that the bigger the coefficient of variation, the higher the variability. So that's how you are supposed to find coefficient of variation. Otherwise, that's how you are also supposed to get the 15 marks in this question. We are going to stop there, and we meet in our next video. Thank you.